Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our show today, which is going to be very quiet, important issue to tackle, which is about women in the US history, their history, and in their important things that has
women.
Yes, that has helped in the building of the US as a state. Well, for this, we've got our special guest today. To have with us Elizabeth. Good morning.
Thank you for your invitation.
Our
Madam.
pleasure today to have you here. So, any type of question we have and anything to clarify, we have Elizabeth for this.
Yes.
And well, Elizabeth, thank you again.
Yep.
Elizabeth, would you tell us about the beginning of some politicians in the US history?
Sure. Well, to start about some point is in 1922, the first woman to serve in the US was Rebecca Latimer.
Yes.
She served for 1 day. She was appointed but not elected.
Ah, right. And remember that Delaware and Iowa, Mississippi and New Hampshire were the four states which did not have any women representing the states, and that's very notable in the US history actually. The rest did really have their representative women in each of the states.
Yes.
Well, Elizabeth, which is the first woman to lead the House of Representatives?
The first woman was Nancy Pelosi in 2007.
All right, well, thank you, Elizabeth. And would you please highlight some relevant points about these political women in the US and some of their professional career in this path?
Yeah, well, one of them is Condoleezza Rice.
Oh, yes, great. We'd love to hear about these powerful women. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, starting in 1989,
Yes.
she served in the Bush administration as a director.
Yeah.
Mrs. Rice went on to become National Security Advisor in 2001.
2001, yes, right.
And in 2005, she was named Secretary of State.
All right. Well, no one can deny the fact, actually, that this lady had such an important role in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. If you remember, right? Iranian's nuclear development, the Iraq war, and to name some, and North Korea's nuclear and weapons program, among others. Yeah, that's right. Well, now let's move on to talk about another important issue today, and it's going to be another female figure in the US history. Her name is Barbara Boxer. This is one of my favorite, actually.
Yeah.
In the 1992, she was elected to be the US Senate as one of the first female Jewish senators in California. And please, it would be great, Elizabeth, if you could highlight some of her efforts and participation in the US history. Elizabeth,
Sure.
Go ahead, please.
It's a pleasure. Mrs. Boxer has been active on environmental issues, abortion rights, gun control, and medical research.
Yes.
In May 2010, the Senate passed an amendment by Boxer that would ensure that no taxpayer funds would be used to bail out Wall Street.
Right. Thank you, Elizabeth, for this beneficial introduction about these two women that we have tackled so far. And what about Geraldine Ferraro and the other important woman? Her name is Madeleine Cannon. So very and democratic politician, right? Mrs. Ferraro, I think, was the first one in the political issue in the US, candidate for a major American political party, right, Elizabeth?
Yeah.
And I think she has entered the House of Representatives in 1978, right?
As a conservative.
That's it. And
you're right.
Yes, I moved up rapidly, like this, and she really has her place in the party really fixed that, because she was one of the powerful women in there, and she focused much her work on equity for women in wages, pensions, to name something. That's it. Yes, a member of the U.S. Delegation to the UN Commission on Human Rights, for example, under Clinton. Yes, under Clinton rights. Ferraris today, a political analyst, as you know, and communist as well. And
yes, and let's talk about Madeleine Kunin.
Yeah.
She was the 77th governor of Vermont from 1985 to 1991.
Right.
As a member of the Democratic Party. And was a U.S.
ambassador to Switzerland from 1996, I think, and 99, right?
99.
She was the first
That's correct.
to date, yeah? Only...
Yes, to date only female governor of Vermont, as well as the first Jewish woman to be elected governor of any state. She was a member of the Clinton administration as Deputy Secretary of Education, and wrote a book which is amazing. I recommend you to all of you. It's Pearls, Politics and Power.
That's right, about female leadership in politics, right? Well, we've done an important survey about women, or the most inspirational women in the US, and we've got some of the results which we would like really to share with you, and and the most inspirational women in the US history is considered to be Patricia Harris.
Oh my God! I agree.
Yeah, you too. She's one of my favorites as well. So this wonderful woman served as the United States Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, becoming the first African American woman to enter the presidential line of succession, which is an amazing fact actually to be mentioned in here, or to be taken into account. Mrs. Harris had been appointed by President Kennedy to co-chairman of the National Women's Committee for Civil Rights, right?
Yeah.
And there is a very important quotation to, if you remember, that was like, do you remember it? Yes,
Hillary Clinton,
that's it. Yes, the quotation which she said, if you're too dangerous to get on a plane, you're too dangerous to buy a gun in America. So that was really into the point, especially in those days.
And that speech is important because, well, Hillary Clinton, among other things, wanted to fight to break down all the barriers that hold Americans back and build ladders for opportunity for all people, so that every child in America can live up to his or her God-given potential.
That's it. Very interesting information indeed. And then I think we just stop here. Well, another good point to talk is that I really wonder why Elizabeth, they think there will, and they're still up to now, women finding difficulties to integrate, like in the political issue in society. And I think that goes back to the old history where women were attributed only the household chores to do and to take care of the kids, you know, and do those simple like houseworks and nothing more than that. And even women who wanted to vote in the US history, that was kind of an impossible thing to gain. And I think that's why there were only few female political women in the US, and still up to now, the US really have some important points that they have reached. But still, women, they're fighting, and Afro-American, for instance, women are still suffering in some ways, and that's where women tried really hard to take their role and take part in politics, and thus have the right, for instance, to vote and to participate in all political issues in their society, not only to concentrate on the house chores and taking care of the kids and those little simple things that were all always like being the main, let's say, role of a woman in the US. And well, Elizabeth, I think I've got a question for you here.
Yeah.
Why do you think it should be necessary to benefit their role, for example, in the US history?
Well, I think it's important to know it should be developed a system of incentives for countries that work towards narrowing the gender gap.
Yeah.
The gender gap.
In education, for instance, health and employment.
Exactly.
And
That's the important, the key
simple,
elements.
Yes, and these simple sectors in the US society, well, in all over the world, but talking like specifically about this in the US. So, well, thank you, Elizabeth, for the last part of the show. It was really interesting, those information.
Yes.
But we are running out of time for today. We'd really like to have you for some more time, but we have to say goodbye for now. And before that, we say thank you very much, Elizabeth, for coming.
Thank you, Mariam.
And we would like to have you here sometime soon.
Yeah, it was it's been such a wonderful time here.
Yeah, same we did. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. See you soon.
See you
and
soon.
we have more programs to see on BBC News.
Exactly. Bye bye.